The wise and the simple alike join together every year as we tell the story of our liberation from servitude and speak of our hope for peace. The Torah speaks of 4 children, 4 types of people who must be taught this message of freedom. Not all are able to learn the message the same way, and so we respond to each at his or her own level. Chacham, the wise child asks, "What does all this mean to me? Why do we have this Seder?" Because of her interest, we teach her every piece of the story, every success and failure along the way. The wise child questions the purpose of the story, asking why our ancestors were unable to find God amidst the trauma of servitude. It takes open hearts and minds to authentically engage God. Those who take shortcuts end up serving earthbound masters. Rasha, the wicked child asks, "What does all this mean to you?" You, he asks, not me, removing himself from the struggle for freedom. He ignores the truth that redemption requires our participation with God. God cannot do what humankind will not do. To this child, you answer sharply. Had you been in Egypt, God would not have included you amongst the redeemed. One who excludes himself from the community can never experience the miracle of redemption. Tom, the simple child, asks, "What is all this?" You answer her simply. Passover reminds us of our covenant with God's continuing miracle of freedom. This is the child who asks why the news across the world should be important. To this child we respond, Kol Yisrael arevim ze bazeh. We are all responsible for each other. By caring for each other, we help make sure that the story of oppression evolves into a thing of the past. She'eno yodea lishol. The child who does not even know enough to know how to ask. You tenderly teach this child, this is what God did for us when we went free from servitude. This child looks lovingly at parents, trusting us to transform this world into a world of peace, a world where swords are plowshares, spears pruning hooks, where none will make him or anyone afraid. Ask you now to turn to the appendix at the back of our Haggadah and find the Ballad of the Four Sons to the tune of My Darling Clementine. This was a parody created by Ben Aromim in 1948. Now I know that the language is heavily gendered and perhaps the message a bit stilted and jaded, but growing up with 3 older brothers and 1 younger sister, the Ballad of the Four Sons to the tune of My Darling Clementine remains a personal favorite, so I hope you'll bear with me and play along. Said the father to his children, at the Seder you will dine, you will eat your fill of matzah, you will drink 4 cups of wine. Now this father had no daughters, but his sons, they numbered 4. One was wise and one was wicked, one was simple and a bore, and the 4th was sweet and winsome. He was young and he was small. While his brothers asked the questions, he could scarcely speak at all. Said the wise one to his father, would you please explain the laws of the customs of the Seder? Will you please explain the cause? And the father proudly answered, as our fathers ate in speed, ate the Paschal lamb ere midnight, and from slavery were freed. So we follow their example, and their midnight must complete. Seder, and we should not, after 12, remain to eat. Then did sneer the son so wicked, what does all this mean to you? As the father's voice was bitter, and his grief and anger grew, if yourself you don't consider as a son of Israel, then for you this has no meaning, you could be a slave as well. Then the simple son said simply, what is this? And quietly the good father told his offspring, we were freed from slavery. But the youngest son was silent, for he could not ask at all. His bright eyes were bright with wonder, as his father told him all. My dear children, heed the lesson, and remember evermore what the father told his children, told his sons that numbered 4.